morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Swift Community Live broadcast of the WTRL Team Time Trial. We're out on the tour of Tewit. Well, it's going to be a tough course out there today, Dave, as we've got a lot of climbing. Yorkshire course, and this is one of the toughest team time trial courses you could possibly have, I think. I mean, the amount of climbing in such a short period of time to come at you, and the amount of, I think, feathering and figuring out how to kind of work with the pack and then also just the reality of pure watts per kilogram amongst your crew. It's going to be a tough day for the teams out here today. Dave, I think I got you on mute just as a heads up. I got you there. There you go.
For once it wasn't me. Out of the 100 times. So, because I'm like, oh no. So, hey, Nathan, this is going to be, in my opinion, the toughest day that we see all year. It's bizarre, but that 21.6K distance is short enough that it makes the intensity even worse, to tell you the truth, for our top teams. I agree and echo everything that you said. I'm surprised that I'm coming up with this, but I think we should rename it Tour of Tewit Hell, to be honest, because this is going to be brutal. No doubt about it. Fastest time, does anyone get down to 31 minutes? If we put 8 Nathan Guerras together, maybe, but I think it's pretty unlikely, to tell you the truth. You're going to see a lot of our riders out there for 40 minutes, but as you said, finding a rhythm today, it's going to be brutal.
Going to be really tough. Now, we do want to highlight for next week. It is our WBR fundraising week. We're having a ton of fun with this. The ability to impact not only your time, but also have some amazing impact on in the community, actually, with this giving season here. There's a target of $50,000, 340 Buffalo bikes. Super excited for this effort here with World Bicycle Relief. Next week, we're going to be on Sand and Sequoias for 2 laps. Well, looks like it's a 75K target. Sorry about that. And going to be absolutely awesome. Oh, that 50,000 was last year. Now, we do have Claire Geiger with us.
We crushed
Claire,
it.
We did. We absolutely crushed it. And we're going to walk away with it, I think, this year as well. Claire Geiger, Director of Partnerships. Claire's actually coming in with us all the way from Germany. Is that right, Claire?
Yeah, that's right. Thanks so much for having me.
Of course. I mean, can you tell us a little bit about this initiative that we're up to here? Not a lot of people maybe going to be familiar with WBR and what you guys are up to.
Yeah, thanks so much for making the time tonight. We're super excited. As Dave mentioned, this will be our second iteration of the time trial to benefit World Bicycle Relief. So it's really a race for a cause, for a reason. And what we do is we provide robust, specially designed bicycles for individuals in rural developing countries of the world. So we provide bikes to students, to healthcare workers, to small farmers and entrepreneurs, primarily in rural Africa, but also in some areas of Southeast Asia and South America as well. One of these bikes costs about $165. So when we think about the bikes that we get out and ride on, our kits, our helmets, a bike that changes a person's life that World Bicycle Relief provides is something super tangible and something that, that we can make a huge difference for providing that to somebody in need.
Claire, Dave Towle jumping in here. I want to give you a ton of credit. When people talk about a goal in life, having your occupation be your avocation is clearly what you're all about. And I really feel that. And with Martin and Nathan on our team, I think that now is a great time for folks to recognize the position that we have and the impact that these bikes have and coming together. I mean, let's just set a simple goal for everyone. Okay, Claire, how about every team work together? And we should do that, Nathan, with our own team, to tell you the truth. And $165 is such an obtainable goal. Some teams, I'm going to guess, go into the dozens of bikes. Some people are really great at fundraising. And Claire, getting back to the point here now, can we talk about, for folks who maybe don't understand, what injecting one of these Buffalo bikes into a community will do? What's the biggest impact that you see? Is it education? Is it work? What really happens when these bikes hit the ground?
Yeah, I mean, Dave, that's such a good point. It's really not about the bike, right? It's what the bike enables. And I would say the number one thing is time. Like, how precious is our time? And so whether it's that student connecting her to her school, she's saving that precious time in the morning to do her chores, to arrive on time, to not be tired when she gets there. Whether it's a healthcare worker, they can visit more people because they have more time in their day, because they can travel faster by bike. And for a farmer, they can get more goods to market. They're not only helping their income, they're also serving their community. And so it's just such an incredible tool in so many ways. And we see that the bike doesn't only impact that one person riding it, but about 5 other people are indirectly impacted, whether it's within the family, whether it's at the school, in the community. And so it's just such an incredible tool that has such deep impact. And as you mentioned, whether it's a team of 8 people, $165, that's $20 a person. I mean, every team can throw that in quickly and make such a big difference. And we saw it last year. The event raised over $68,000, which was matched. Our goal this year is $75,000. And we know we can hit that together as a community when we think about just how many teams participate and the impact that this can have. It's super exciting to think about what that $20 for a person means, how far it can go with this group of people.
Claire, in the vein of positivity, which is 100% what I feel from World Bicycle Relief, a lot of folks struggle sometimes in this world. We're coming up in Christmas season, finding a gift for someone in your life who the person that already has everything, right? Well, one thing I noticed with this is you want to create a really great conversation at your Christmas or Hanukkah table or while you're gathering with your people. Well, give a gift of World Bicycle Relief. Buy a bike for your mom or dad who already have everything. Watch how great it makes them feel. You're going to feel great, and then you can start talking about this kind of thing, which is really how we move the communicating, sharing, and positivity. And really, I mean, if you want to look at the secrets of the success of World Bicycle Relief, it's been really finding a unique community to support you. And I love that WTRL can be that. I mean, looking forward, don't you think this might be the best gift you could give?
Yeah, I mean, and Dave, you've been a part of our work for so long. We've known each other for years, and you see that impact in the way people react to it. And I think for so many people, when you have that conversation around the table with family or with friends, they know our connection to our bikes or each of your connections to your bikes. When you're
Sure.
able to take that and say, I'm giving the gift of mobility, I'm giving my passion to others in need, I think it's so inspiring and people get really excited. And that does spark the conversation. They may not, want to hear about every race you've done, but they may say, tell me a little bit more about that opportunity. And so I think you're absolutely right with that. And for me, what always strikes home is we have so many beautiful stories of how a bike changes an individual life. And every single bike has one of those stories behind it. So, there's just so many lives changed through this. World Bicycle Relief has distributed over 600,000 bikes. We're already looking at that million bike milestone. What would that look like? And so to think about that impact is just absolutely amazing. And so I couldn't agree more with your sentiment behind that.
It's interesting. There's a great quote from H.G. Wells where he says that every time he sees an adult on a bicycle, it gives him hope for humanity. Well, I really have just subbed out because H.G. Wells was a little before World Bicycle Relief's time. I think he would have said every time he saw a buffalo bike donated, it gives him hope for humanity. And can you talk about the impact? So we've talked about school age kids who that bike moves through the family at the right time in the right place to help everybody, and there's that ripple effect. Can you talk about the ripple effect of hope? I mean, I've never asked you this before, but I was thinking about it this morning, where when that bicycle arrives and is uncrated and the World Bicycle Relief mechanic at the center gets it tuned up and ready to be used, that person and family and community receiving that bike must feel that someone believes in them. Have you ever thought about that?
Yeah, that's a fantastic question. Oftentimes, this bicycle is the most valuable asset in a family's household. This means more to them than anything they've had. And to your point, it is that faith that we believe in them and their future. And it's incredibly hopeful, right? And we see that, we measure the impact and the results. We see girls staying in school more often and longer. We see them starting their families later because they want to continue their education. We see them investing back in their families because they have that extra income. We see the locus of control and the self-empowerment a girl feels with having a bicycle increase. I mean, it's absolutely amazing what the statistics show that a bike can do in an individual's life. So hope, it just captures that. Hope and joy and opportunity, all of those are what we're actually giving when we give that gift of a bicycle.
How many years did it take us to get to 600,000 bikes?
So we're just hitting about 16 years. We started in 2005. So, in the first 15 years, we did about 500,000 bikes, the first 500,000. We're hoping to do the second 500,000 in just 5 years. So really thinking about that exponential growth, getting more bikes out to people who need it. And, what we're really seeing is the outcome of the pandemic and the effects on these people. Getting girls back to school, getting people back into the workforce is so critical. And a bicycle is a key tool to connecting that, to overcoming that distance in achieving that opportunity.
So Claire Geiger joining us here from World Bicycle Relief in Germany. Claire, my final question for you is, as we look at it now, sub-Saharan Africa is where, in my mind, most of these bikes are destined to. If I'm correct, can you just give us a couple of countries that we can look up and learn more about? Because that's been a huge part of what we do with Community Live, is connecting this community that happens to be around the globe. And we're seeing more and more African flags showing up. I know Worlds are going to be in Rwanda in a couple of years. There's a lot of exciting things happening. But right now, what countries specifically are you working with the most?
Yeah, so we have assembly facilities in Zambia, Zimbabwe, Kenya, and Malawi in Africa in particular. We also launched our first assembly facility in South America in Colombia 2 years ago. So that's kind of our South African presence, South American presence. But to your point, the main countries in Africa are Zambia, Zimbabwe, Kenya, and Malawi. But we have distributed bikes to some of those other countries around there, including Rwanda, Uganda, Tanzania. But where our teams have actual footprints are those 4 key countries.
Claire, with all love from all of us at Zwift Community Live, I just want to say thanks a lot. Keep up the pressure. You and your colleagues are absolutely changing the world, and the small role that we can play, it feels awesome. It really does. So everybody, next week, let's get it going. Ramp things up. I would love. Martin has put his heart and soul. I mean, you want to talk about a guy who's leaned in on this, and I know we're going to go way over $75,000 raised, and I'll let Martin do the math to figure out how many bikes that would be. But Claire, on behalf of all of us at Zwift Community Live, thanks a ton. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having us. I can't thank you guys enough for giving us this opportunity, and excited to also share that Saris has stepped up with a $10,000 match for the next set of donations that are coming in. So they really want to throw some momentum behind this. So thank you, Zwift Community Live, WTRL, and to all of the teams, to all of the individuals who got involved last year and are going to get involved this year. We couldn't do it without you. So we're so grateful, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week. And thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. Claire. Thanks, Dave, for that, and appreciate you guys so much. Absolutely awesome. Let's take a quick little look at a video to give you more idea of what it looks like hands on the ground. Well, wheels on the ground when it comes to bikes over in Zimbabwe. Absolutely awesome.
Every day, Smile walks 10 kilometers to get water, to seek a better future, to get home before dark. Then she received a bicycle. On 2 wheels, she can fly. Day by day, her future gets brighter. If one bicycle can change Smile's future, imagine mobilizing her entire community. With a bicycle, Siduduzo visits more patients. Edward keeps the water running. Leocardia empowers her neighbors. Wozani guides his village. Levison helps people live with the land. With a bicycle, they can all pedal forward. With a bicycle, they can change their world. Mobilize communities like Smiles with the power of bicycles.
Talk about getting you right in the feels.
Yeah.
Man. Jeez. All right. Well, let's get into a
Do
team
they
time
do-
trial. Like, how
Yeah.
do we even move on to the team time trial? We
I know.
appreciate so much the work that's being done here. And we look forward to next week for sure. Raising as much as we possibly can. That's a huge donation. $10,000 coming from SARS, Dave? Super
Yeah,
exciting.
that's great. I mean, isn't that cool that Wisconsin, I mean, I know you're there too, it's just really cool how you can make an impact in this world. So thanks a lot to all the good folks there. Well, our racers, when they go back and watch this broadcast, because a lot of them will go watch after they race, I think will really appreciate how high quality is the materials that they provide as well. I mean, I'll be honest, I'm the kind of guy that almost cries when you see an AT&T phone ad around Christmas time, right? But those ads are impactful. Really, really impressive. So, taking a look at some of the split times coming in, let's just jump in with the racing at this point. Now, Nathan, thank you so much for taking the time and caring the way you do at Zwift Community Live, and same thing to Martin at WTRL. It really makes being involved a lot more impactful. So, 21.6 kilometers of racing today. We're going to have 3 checks. You can see we're coming through at the first one. It's not a long day distance-wise, but it's not a short day on the bike, and it's going to be very, very intense. We're in now with Vikings. Is this Valhalla that we're with? It is, I believe.
Yeah. Well, Mjolnir went out first, so I think we're hanging out with Mjolnir actually, and then Virtuslow, and then Valhalla maybe was the third. They were like 9th to go out on course. So I think the times are representative with the 10:39 with Mjolnir. I think at the top.
Let me see here. So this is going to be our latte class. We have the coffee classes here. A nice coffee in Oslo sounds quite nice right now.
Look
So
at how
better kebab.
like this looks like it's a tough time already here, Dave. I mean,
Does.
things are
Does. I mean-
really split up here at this point right now, and we saw a lot of chatter coming through. I saw Andy Lawton saying, "Do the TTT." They said it would be fun. They said, I mean, this is this looks like a rough day out on course here with Bert Veg from Vespi FK, and this is going to be one of the Vikings teams.
It is a
we got the
Viking.
splits coming
Yep.
in 20 minutes.
believe
at 12K.
Valhalla.
That's pretty slow. No offense to the riders or anything, but 12K for 20 minutes. It's going to be a rough day out on course.
Yeah, they're on a 5% grade, or make it 6. As you take a look up in the top right corner there, you can watch that map. We're not going to see many teams finishing with 5 riders today. 6 seems almost out of the question. It's going to be frenetic out on this course. This is Yorkshire Worlds from 2019. Seems like a lifetime ago. It's definitely on the other side of a chasm. This team working a little bit better than a lot will be at this point. Is Nathan coming over the top and under the arch there together? That's a good sign. And you can see that these splits coming in. 10:19 is going to be the quickest. Virtue Slow, that's our Slovenian friends, the Stroy and Vikings Valhalla tied right now. And well, I mean, it's not that far back to another 2 teams, ART, the mighty Isotopes there at 10:32, same as Zed Sonar Venus. It's going to be competitive out here. This is always competitive. All the teams in our Platinum League that we have racing, well, this isn't based on speculation. They proved it last week. These teams all qualified from the different zones that they're in. We're still at 19 zones, Nathan. Is that correct?
A lot of zones. I don't even know. I lost count.
That's a lot of zones.
That's a lot of zones. I have no clue. Actually, I thought it was that. I thought it was like
At one point it was
14.
14. I think. Yeah,
Oh my
right. But now
goodness.
I think it's
Getting out of
mushroom.
control.
At some point we'll have more zones here than time zones around the globe.
Is that even possible? Is that a thing?
Maybe not. I don't know.
That's even
That's a Mark
possible.
question.
Martin's just laughing
So
at us now. Andy Lawton, Chambers, Biscuit, Smith, Pin, and Hasleby struggling to stay together at this point from the ODZ team in with the lattes. As you can see, Lawton was complaining earlier over the top. 127 watts, 165 beats per minute. This is where you want to get into that super tuck on the negative 3% gradient and get things back together. Kind of in a straight line, but 3 off the back, Dave. They're going to struggle, it looks like, here to keep the speeds high.
yeah, and this is really the name of the game right here is working as a unit. It's not about yourself. And Nathan, this is something that that learning curve, it's really, really steep. But once you sort of accept that, so right now the riders on the front need to, as you use the term perfectly, feather a little bit, not stop pedaling and come to a stop. It's much more about just reduce it, just govern it a little bit, bring it down 3-4 kilometers per hour, maybe a little bit more for a moment, and let them close that gap and get everyone working back together. It's not only just the speed of the team, but when you're in this right now, this scenario, everyone is a little bit stressed, right? Your central nervous system is not copacetic when you've got this going on, and you want to get all the racers just basically back into the no brain, no pain mode. Right now, you're thinking too much.
Smith now thinking way too much about trying to grab that wheel. As you can see, it looks like 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see here. Chambers on the front.
Thinking he wishes it was over. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, Smith here, she
7K
actually,
to go.
it looks like this is
She.
a pretty nice setup. Look at the glasses here coming from Smith. She's on that pink Tron. Solid as far
I
as
was
the
listening.
fashion police go, but not, I don't know, needs a couple more watts to jump back on here at this point.
Looks like there's a couple women on the team, as this is out of the United Kingdom. Hills Smith, Megan Herzog, also racing for Team ODZ. This is a mixed category versus Vienna, who start a little bit later, as we'll get all of our women's categories out on course. She's getting back up in there, though. Good job, Hills.
Pretty short course out there today, but as you did say earlier, Dave, it is a much slower. We're going to only be going for, is that going to be 18K? Is that going to be the
I think it's
third split there?
21.6. 21.6
total. 18K will be that third split. Got it. And so looking through the splits here, I think our fast times will be right around that 31 to 37 minutes total. I think the longest on the day might be about in the D category with around 40 minutes. Let's take a look at, if we can, at the current course records. Have we done this course before? That's going to be my other question.
I don't think so, but that's a great question. I'm going to say no.
Yeah, it does look like they were set today. Doppio, no record set yet. Vienna Espresso, no record set yet. Frappe with a 40-minute. Vienna Latte, 39. Vienna with a 44. Espresso with the Jackas there, 31 minutes. Riding Dirty, 32 minutes. Latte with Dirt 2, 35. And Eat Dirt 3 with a 44-minute record so far. Newer course out here today. And Edze Bro is showing with that Pavlovas. Edze Bro always super dominant early on in the day, coming from that time zone, but also super, super fast teams. And they've been working on that team time trial really well, it seems.
Yeah, I would agree. They've dedicated themselves to this craft, and it really has shown. As a matter of fact, Nathan, if we had to go back, we should do some year-end awards for 2021. We've seen some spectacular individual performances, and I would have to put, so certainly they receive a nomination to the category of Breakthrough Team of the Year, talking about NZ Bro. It's almost entirely, if not entirely, New Zealanders on that team. And they certainly have had an impact.
Huge impact, and no wonder, being from the land of Anna Russells, who has been helping them out.
The Russell effect.
The Russell effect, for sure. As let's go ahead and see if we can take a look through some of the other teams as they make their way around here in this mixed category. It's going to be Berg, Dutton, Krellen, and Schaaf coming out of the Netherlands. It does look like the Cryogen riders did drop one rider with Broadbent off the back. They're being chased down by the Art Isotopes as well, with Biles on the chase in this latte crew. This is going to be the Emus, I believe, if I'm not incorrect. It's going to be Ali Krellen, Brendan Morgath there, Duncan Farley, Jeffrey Dutton, Greg Broadbent there, Magnus Berg, Meint Martin van Scheif, and Sandy P. Looks like they actually dropped a ton of riders. This is going to be, I think, common today with only 4 left out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 starters, actually. The largest number of TTTs done on this crew is going to be Sandy with, no, maybe not Sandy, Mike Martin with 83. Sandy's actually got 78 rides total. Pretty awesome. One of the more experienced teams, actually. Only 9 in 4. The rider Brendan Morgath, actually, as far as the experience in the TTT goes. Emu's
Yeah, Cryogen is a team. Yeah, absolutely. It looks like so you can see that 312 meters up there. That's the climbing that they've already put in the bank. They've got about 100 more meters of climbing out here in this last 5K. If one thing that's fair is the climbing is dispensed out pretty evenly throughout these 21.6 Ks of racing out here. And as I said a few minutes ago, almost every team that's going to be putting a fast time up on the board is going to be doing it with 4 riders. They've got to regulate things here a little bit. One rider who feels good flying off the front, but unfortunately that's not doing it. Doesn't, so you're not destroying anything, but it doesn't necessarily help quite.
They're destroying cookies, though.
Destroy cookies. Good point. You're breaking cookies. But there you go. You could see, I think that reaction there was more just trying to get past these riders here and not get caught up in a messy, sticky draft situation. So that makes a lot more sense when I see that they were passing some riders here. So Cryogen is catching the team that started just 1 minute before them. Looking at the fastest times, the Pawaka Wakas, the terrifying Pawaka Wakas out of New Zealand with the 17:46. That's going to be our quickest time in the frappes now. So Cryogen's racing here in the lattes, but for our frappes, 17:46 is the quickest time. There we go. This is going to be so Volendam, we're looking at the 16:47. They're chasing Cryo RDT there with that 16:28. This is in the Doppio class. They're flying. Wow. Really motoring. They might go better than 31 minutes.
I think so. I think we're going to see some crazy times here. Look at this. 34 seconds there from Volendam off of Cycling Power. Race team Toyota Cryo RDT are right on their heels. I mean,
yikes.
This is going to be sub 30 maybe even. Over the top of here.
Holy cow.
It's close. It's going to be close. But they are flying Volendam here. And Volendam, they're the old school. I mean, this team, when it comes to TTTs, super experienced. When the course gets tough, I mean, watch out for Volendam here. But Cryo RDT having a really good ride as well, only 18 seconds off. This is all a little bit interesting where the numbers are at here because Cycling Power here at 35 seconds up tells me that they have lost some time to Volendam, but also Volendam lost some time to Cryo RDT. So everybody's had a pretty good chase out there today.
Yeah. Speaking of chase, how about that chase race format that WTRL has introduced? I heard Eric Min took a win yesterday, which it's just fantastic to see how people are embracing that right out of the gate. And certainly, Nathan, I'm sure you're going to be doing a lot of them. So another congratulations going out to WTRL. Nathan, am I correct here? Allison Craylen, the out of the United Kingdom, hanging right in there with Team Cryogen today.
Really?
Very, very impressive. The last I checked, she was still there on a team that is crushing it, down to 2K to go, as this is going to be Cycling Power. We've actually gone into their facility in Denmark there in Copenhagen and looking at Cycling Power race team here. They are third quickest at that split. So Cryo RDT are having a phenomenal day. They're going to need to change their team name, though. Get rid of the men part.
The chase race, definitely a awesome new event.
Yeah.
I'm going to be checking that out every week. We'll be here live with it as well as racing it weekly on my personal channel. Had a ton of fun with it last night. I'm very excited with that format. We need a couple extra bodies, though, in the men's elite. That's for sure. At that 2:20 time zone. Man, trying to pull.
This is Nathan.
Yeah, like,
Nathan doing his
boys.
Tom Sawyer routine, looking for more people to help paint the fence.
Yeah, we need a lot more paint in the fence, that's for sure. It definitely had our work cut out for us to catch those A's, but it was a ton of fun. A lot of competition.
That's the name of the
can't
game,
wait for
right?
more. Oh yeah.
if you caught them every time, it wouldn't be any fun. I think that that's exactly what we were looking for with that format.
It's
This is
100% going to be a
Rosenthal.
weekly now at this point too. I mean, I'm already
Oh yeah,
addicted to the format, so I'm going to have a ton of fun with it. Cycling power to the line, it looks like they're going to go sub 31, I think. About be close. Be really
they've got
close.
about 800 meters to go. So I agree, though. I think they go sub 31. This will be fun to watch. If you don't mind, Nathan, we can see what the last K looks like. Actually, so I've got it on my odometer as 21.6. This can vary a tiny bit here, but this is good to watch.
25:23,
They have their form
26:06,
perfect.
26:31, 26:51. Cryo RDT, I think, are going to walk away with this one. That's a huge gap, actually,
Yeah,
for Cryo RDT.
they are. That's a phenomenal ride. It really is. And Cryo doing what Cryo does. This is nice to see them, though, having this kind of performance here in the Platinum League. So, Nathan, I think it's a couple hundred meters to go. You can see, yep, the finish line always will have the fencing built up around it. Yeah, very, very close. And they certainly deliver. We're back in with Volendam. Another team with real credentials.
Oh, yeah. Powers there as well. Got well on the chase, but not going to be able to finish with them. We've got Aaron Borough, Kells. It looks like Kaler as well as Martins on the chase as well from Cryo RDT. Here comes the sprint coming in from T-Zwan. 99 watts per kilogram real quick there as Volendam crosses the line. Sub 30. Absolutely flying out there today. Here comes Martins now at a 29:03. Are you kidding me?
This is I'm stunned. And look how many riders they have. The team is going to be finishing here. We're in. Well, that's Martin Mertens, right? We're looking at an outstanding ride here. I didn't think that was possible.
No,
to be honest.
Back in with the ladies, just getting it out on course. Let's go ahead and head on
21.
over there.
So, yeah, not a long distance, and the teams that really can hustle up the climbs are showing you. Today, Nathan, I think that's where the race is won or lost. A lot of times it can be, obviously every pedal stroke matters out there, but the teams that can, boogie up, full tilt boogie up these climbs with four riders and not have to deal with these splits and regrouping, these are going to be the teams that make a big difference. This is the Friday Criterium, this yellow jersey, well known out here. And we're jumping in with some of the ladies. This day is flying by. So appreciative of Claire Geiger from World Bicycle Relief. You can go visit them at worldbicyclerelief.org and find out a lot more about what their programs are and the projects that they're working on that you can help with. And we really appreciate your help here as we head into number 139 consecutive weeks of WTRL. And this is a team that's been with us, Nathan, for a lot of them. The Friday Criterium getting out, going here. Four riders together, 1K in. This is how you do it.
And right on into the climb. 1 kilometer in, as you did say there. It does look like Hobson on the chase there from the Zoot team. Is that going to be right? I do see Zoot in the name. Zoot TTT, perhaps. There's a lot of riders actually here with this team. It's going to be Johnson, Canning, Beckett there, Buttle, Hirely, and a couple of others as they start their team time trial in this Vienna Latte crew. It does look like TFC lost a rider right off the bat. That's going to be a rough day here for Nikki as she gets out on course.
Yikes. Yeah, that's tough. I see we've got Crush Pod. This is our Vienna Lattes that we're in with now. And there's a lot of heroes in this group for sure. Crush Pod is a team that we've had fun. They're now up to 2 squads racing out here today. Iced Latte is one of them. We'll start getting some splits in at 6K, then look at 12K, a check at 18K before they finish up. Same deal, about 410 meters of climbing and 21.5 kilometers of racing. This is a steep pitch. Now, this World's Course was a classic. As a matter of fact, if you had to say, what should a World's Course be? Well, it's always going to be for Road Worlds for the pro men. They're looking for a 6 to 6.5 hour long race. That's not the case with the team time trial. And they make it so they didn't just do circuits out here. The Tewit well circuit here. They raced from leads and made their way onto the circuit. They only did the last, say, 6 or 7 laps out here. For our purposes, this is a brutal course. It's relentless is a good way to put it, as Nikki, I'm sure, would be willing to testify to.
Yeah, at this point, for sure, as you do see her making her way around. Draft, Sisu, and BBB are going to be the teams in with the Vienna Espressos today. Let's see if we can find the draft team. They're the first ones out on course. Sisu, I Race Like a Girl, will be going second, and BBB will be out third out there today with Vienna Espresso. We'll jump in with them and start getting some times. I want to see how these ladies, though, are taking on the reality of this first climb, if I can jump in with them.
I have a bad feeling that Sisu might be scratching today. We will see.
Oh, they might not
If
have
they
started yet? I am
They
seeing that.
might not have. I'm not 100% sure, but waiting for some data to roll through. I have a feeling they might. It's been such an active race season right now. We actually have a lot to look forward to today, including December 4th. The playoffs will resume for the Zwift Racing League communities. I'm probably getting out in front a little more than I should, out in front of my skis, as they say. But this is going to be I'll throw it back to you, Nathan.
Still Nikki hanging out as she makes her way up and over the top side. We need to jump around just a little bit here. And on the way out, it's going to be Cycling Power Women coming out of Denmark. Hansen out onto the course for a gold as well. One rider off the back, needing to push a solid 5 watts per kilogram. And this is Olsen.
This is entirely a Danish squad here, Nathan. I'll give these ladies a shout out. They certainly have earned it. As Camilla Knudsen, Emma Lund, Kama Berholt, Malena Olsen, Mikkel Justesen, Pernille Kinnunen, Trine Brask, and Vibeke Mayhoff. I'm sure I have some work to go with the pronunciation there, but that's an all Danish team that we have here. Not that it's interesting how the Danes seem to do well grouping up as a nation, right, Nathan? We see quite a few teams that are all Danish, and you see riders obviously that are Danish that get into mixed teams, like on Heino, you'll see. But it's certainly a strong team to contend with. We'll get some splits coming in as everybody just really getting going right now. You're not going to see too many teams with 8 riders making it to the finish. Let's see how the Danes do out here.
Yeah, it's a tough day, that's for sure, especially with that climb right from the get-go. Within the first minute, we're already seeing a little bit of splits here within this team. A couple of meters opening up as the ladies look to try and hang on as Hansen tries to shut down that gap. 2 seconds already. So keeping it steady, it is all about that. I get into a climbing situation, especially in team time trial or in the chase race, and I go 6, 5, 7. Like, we have an agreed upon pace at a watt per kilogram a lot of times in order to make sure that everybody knows what you need to hold to kind of hold onto the wheel that's in front of you. And then a lot of times you can kind of hover about 1 watt per kilogram less than that. It does look like these riders have gone a little bit over what they were anticipating, perhaps. I mean, the goat here, a goat's not actually the lead, but 3.7, 3.8, 3.5. To shut that down, they're going to need a solid 4 to 5 watts per kilogram, which is probably going to put a few of these women off the back.
Yeah, it's 2 sides to the coin, right? It's also a little bit for your top riders. They kind of need a little bit of a gauge to limit themselves, and for it's not like all 8 riders on a team are going to be exactly the same level. Some are going to be trying to punch a little above their weight out there, and you certainly one of the big motivators is just being able to stay in the wheels. And as I've jokingly said before, don't be a hero then. If you're having trouble hanging on, don't try to take a big pull. Just keep your head above water out there and wait and see how you feel, because on a day like today, nobody's going to be feeling great for the entire 35 minutes. You're going to have some ups and downs out here as we jump in with another team that's breaking through. I love the green jersey. This will stand out. Signature color for Virtue Slow. This is the Slovenian team. And we've got Medved, a rider that we're becoming familiar with. This is going to be our Vienna lattes out here in the A Pen. And let me give a shout out to Barbara Medved, Moshe Faganel, Nina Nessimer, and Urska Pakjak out here looking strong. I feel like I'm missing someone. And here we go. We've also got Metka Yug, Silva Nidarsik, and Tanya Zhebdov. These are also some challenging names here for an American.
Having fun with it there, Dave.
Yeah, well, doing what we can, right? That's one of the things we're always learning, and certainly don't be shy. Reaching out with a little bit of help is always appreciated. That's for sure. We're not above help. I'm
Definitely not.
Nathan doesn't need it,
Never.
but
Well, I don't know about that. I'm always
depends on the
looking for some
category.
help over here.
Depends on the category. Yeah.
This is a torturous day. I mean, I can't say enough to it.
It
You
is.
can tell just as they get out on course here. We're 1.6 kilometers in, 3 minutes in, and you can already tell the ladies here are way. I mean, their hearts are already into the throat. You can tell.
We've already
Crush
done
pod.
almost 50 meters of climbing, Nathan, by the time you're 2K in. A VAM, 25 meters of climbing per kilometer, that's a tall order.
As we see Crush Pod getting out on course, being chased by WTRL. Lowry, snap, go. Is that going to be blue as well? Melander with the What's Up C crowd. As this is always a really well committed team. They've almost always show up with 8 riders. And as they get out on course here, 1.2 kilometers in, 2 minutes in. Again, I can't speak enough to how hard this course is. Like, I feel I just really, you're only 30 seconds in, and it's just like immediately just punching so hard here. Hi, Nathan Dave. Always appreciate your coming. Good to see
Hey,
you there,
Pam.
Shambler. And we appreciate your efforts out there today, Pam.
I have a feeling that Pam and her colleagues will have not choice words, but one of the things I love, Nathan, is looking at the feedback after the race, and I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of riders who will jokingly talk about enough is enough, right? Where's the mercy rule? But that's one of the things that I've come to appreciate. I've talked a lot, Nathan, over the last 100 or so WTRL Thursdays that we've been involved with about what a pure team time trial course is, but that's not necessarily the goal here. We've had some fun getting outside of the box with these, and certainly today would qualify as an outside of the box type day, but we like to mix it up. There's no doubt about it.
The time's coming in 16.7 done total by the total tri ladies so far. We're still waiting on a few kilometers. It looks like time's come on in. Pamela Shambler, level 49 Zwifter. She's got a sprint at 8.62 watts per kilogram and solid 209 watt estimated FTP. Currently ranked 422 points right now. Solid ranking. It looks like 295 races.
She's got a great photo of herself on a time trial bike. Like she looks extremely professional. Are you seeing that photo, Nathan?
Yeah, she's doing the duathlon league too, which tells me that she's right. That's right down her
This
alley.
lady knows how to time trial. Yeah, I mean that form, you don't just climb on a time trial bike and look like that. There's a lot of folks that will never be able to find. It's really the being able to rotate your hips, right? Creating power in that position.
Wait a second, time trialing's all about hip rotation? I would have
Well,
never
to get
known.
that position, it is
Yeah,
to be able to get your
gotcha.
flat back. Yeah, I mean,
I know
it's
nothing.
one
I
thing
know
to-
nothing about time trialing, obviously. Nothing.
With all due respect to Kristen Kolchinski, if you watch her riding on a bike, you can tell that she doesn't time trial in real life because her form would be not that aerodynamic, to tell you the truth. And when you look at Pamela here, and she looks like she's been in the studio working hard on just getting that frontal area. And not that it does you any good when you're actually out here on Zwift, but a lot of these riders are riding on Zwift to have form in real life that they can shock the world with. And I think Pamela, by the time we get to next summer, talking about Pamela Shamber here on the WTRL team, she's doing the work. That's for sure.
What's going on with Crush Pod and Jordan here? Is she waiting up for their other team, perhaps? Nan, Millens, Curly? I'm not sure she's going to actually do that, but This looked like she got dropped
Yep.
early on as Crush Pod 2 get out on course. And they're chasing down their teammate here. 1.7 kilometers in. Gonna be Crush Pod 2 making their way up the climb. Currently 56th position.
How cool is it for Crush Pod that they've become so popular? They have to start adding new teams. It's like adding a leaf to the Thanksgiving table as your family grows. It's just when you got a good thing going, more people want to get involved, and that's what you call momentum in sport. And there's no doubt that Crush Pod has that. Oh man, my heart goes out to these riders. So doing a start with so much climbing is tough too, isn't it, Nathan? I think she's
Right from the
So
get-go, you're just getting punched in
yeah,
the face. I mean, that's the reality here.
absolutely. Absolutely. So, yeah, this is the point now where you can kind of just take some inventory and say, who have we got? 6 riders together here for Crush Pod. As I mentioned, so this is Crush Pod 2 that we're
Mm-hmm.
in with.
Yes.
So I could shout out Julia, Petra, Sarah, Allie, Amelia, Anya, Caroline, Curly, Kathy, Lisa, Madeline, Monica. It's awesome. Nan, Robin, and Tamara making up the Crush Pod, the 2 different teams out here. This is Nan. They look great. Vienna Latte class we're in with right now.
We may need to
As
stick
we're
with
gonna
them for most of the broadcast out here today. We'll see if we can jump around a little bit, but having a little bit of struggle jumping across categories. We'll definitely take a look though at all of the times that they come in with Vienna. Let's take a look at the splits though as they came in and some of the results from the men's race as the ladies do get out on
Okay.
course. The Vienna Lattes just jumped on through. As you can see, the splits here. The fastest time at that 18K was a 25:23 there, coming on in from Toyota Cryo RDT. Adam Racing Team Photons there with the 26:19, battling for Jet Racing and Trenton. Innovation Alien Express were the next ones out there. Pretty close racing, it looks like here for. There's a lot of teams today. Look at this espresso crew here.
Wow. Yeah. So it looks like that is really, really impressive. And whew, man, the photons firing on all cylinders out there as we get a look at the fastest split time I've seen. Only team I guess we'll see if some of the Dopios must be quicker than 9 minutes, but an 8:51 there at 6K with all of that climbing. Not much faster, Nathan. It looks like 1 second quicker for the Dopios. So talking about punching above your weight, ART having a great day. There's the times coming in from our Dopios, which is the highest category as in ability level that we
Volendam came
have.
through with an 8:48. You see that? They're flying
Yeah,
out there as
wow.
well. 2 seconds faster. In the frappes, it was a 27:14, 9:36, and a 17:46 for the splits. As we make our way through, you can see here's what went down with the lattes and then the mochas. A few of them still out on course. Long day for the mochas. Lots of climbing. Take a quick look at the results as a lot of times I know a lot of you do jump into the broadcast here to see how things played out. And as the ladies get out on course, we'll be able to show you what happened, though, with the categories that we have already covered out there today. So let's go take a quick look now as we do see the results coming right on in for the Dopios. It will be a 29:44, Dave.
Wow. This is a great ride for Toyota Cryo RDT today. That's a mind-blowingly quick. Virtuslow had to think with the 30:07 that they had it in the bag, but that's going to be 22 seconds back. So Virtuslow, big, strong guys, second quickest time. Now, these are the fastest times we've seen so far today. There's still other time zones to race, but these very well could hold up. WTRL Volendam, third quickest at a 30:29, 30:53 for Cycling Power Race Team out of Denmark, and then Backpedal 1, our fifth quickest time. Boy, 29:44. Ay, ay, ay.
Absolutely.
That's over
flying
21.
here. How fast is that?
That's over 21.6K is what I was saying. I'm curious. So with that 407 meters of climbing, I'll get the calculator out here.
Adam Racing
That's
Team at
quick.
the top. It looks like 14 seconds back. It'll be Jet Racing Team. Jack is there, 18 seconds back. Evo Warriors, followed up by Vision. Then it's going to be Trenton. Close times, interesting enough. I thought it'd be separated a little bit more because of all the climbing out there today. But it is a short course. Eat Dirt 007 coming on through from Zone 3. About 29 seconds back in 7th place there. Smurfs Frey Espresso there in 8th. Zed Sun Red Dwarfs and Innovation Alien Espresso Express. These are the times
Very
currently
close.
set. Yeah.
Look at how
45
only
seconds.
43 seconds. Yeah. I don't know that we've seen all 10 teams within 43 seconds before, especially on such a challenging course. That speaks to some real parity in our espresso category.
Super high level, obviously, for the climbing as well. I think I like this course, actually, if I were out here. Dirt Time Chaser, Zetta's there. Dave, take it away.
Yeah, this course has got your name written all over it. Dirt Time Chasers Zetas with a 31:32. That's the quickest time so far today for our frappes. Second quickest is the NZ Bro Waka Waka's Ace Aurora in with the third quickest, riding dirty. Fourth, Adam Racing Team Atomic is going to be your fifth fastest time. And then it's Sri Tempo Frappe, sixth quickest, backpedal 2, seventh. Coalition Hyperon in 8th, 30 Steam Engines 9th, and Virtue Slow Hazard. Those are your 10 quickest times there. And you can see Zone 3 getting up there. Zone 8 also. Zone 3 had a good day today. Back to you, Nathan, for the frappes.
And in with Lattes there with 34-33 there. And then it's going to be Virtus Slow Stroh's there with the 34-37, only 3 seconds back. Eat Dirt 2. They're in with the 56 seconds back. Wow, quite the gap there back from second to third. Then it's going to be Ara Wooly Rhinos, 121 back there. Zed Sun Venus there, 2 seconds off the time of fourth. Kirchner Latte 3 and 6. They're Team Type 1 Lancets. Kirchner Latte 1, TSZ Mazaran, and Adam Racing Team Isotopes. They're separated by only, I think that was about 5 seconds between them, maybe 10. Yeah, it's going to be, sorry about that, 2 seconds from 9th to 10th, and a solid 8 seconds or so from 8th to 10th. So that's the situation in with the lattes. In with the mochas, as they're just finishing up still.
Yeah, and here we have TFC Hurricane on top of the table with a 40:22. That's going to be 38 seconds quicker than the second fastest time for the RR Sumatran Rhinos. It's TTT Snack Snake. 53 seconds back for the third quickest time. TSC Team Swedish Swifters, Mocha Cakes. So send more, please, in fourth. Team Type 1 Gluconauts in fifth. And Golf in sixth. WKG Goat Herders in seventh right now. Again, more teams to race. Vikings Berserker, eighth quickest time. TBR Renegades, ninth. And Eat Dirt Trois in with our 10 fastest times for the Mochas from all of our time zones out there. You can see time zone 8 has already come through. So we're more than halfway around the globe on WTRL Thursday. So that's your Mochas here on week number 137. 137th consecutive Thursday that we've had racing out here. We're going to jump back in with the Danish team, Cycling Power Woman.
Yeah, and as they make their way around here, we are in with the lattes still. We're probably going to stick in with them for the rest of the race. We were going to try and get across a couple of the other categories, but we're having a little bit of trouble finding them. If I can, I'll try and pull some magic here to get the other categories, but I have a feeling we may have to stick in with the Vienna lattes. And as we do, we'll get a good look at their second lap out here today.
Wasn't it great having a chance to speak with Claire Geiger? For if you're just joining us for the Vienna latte, or excuse me, for the Vienna categories, we had a chance to speak with Claire Geiger, who is the director of partnerships for World Bicycle Relief, and learn more about what they're doing and how your involvement will have such a huge impact. As I've mentioned, go to worldbicyclerelief.org. Got a really slick website there that helps tell their story. But I'd love for us to all be a part of that story. And I know Claire genuinely appreciates that support. We heard that Saris jumped in with a $10,000 commitment to help match the funds raised by you out there. And I think a goal that we set that was really reasonable. So $75,000 raised, which is a bunch of bikes at $164 a piece. And if every team worked together to at least raise the money for one bike. I think you'll see some teams will go way above and beyond that. And man, it's the most important day of racing we have all year, to tell you the truth. It's such a great opportunity to give back. And I think I saw that Martin was back at work helping with our friends at SRAM or Zip in this case, to get these the disc wheel trophies, which were very, very popular. I
That was
love that.
super cool.
Yeah, really cool. Something you can pass around like the Stanley Cup, and each rider can share it out here. This is going to be a Vienna Latte class, as Nathan said. We're going to be in with the Vienna Lattes here, and the TTT team. So this will be Annie B, Beth Hobson, Charlie Angel, Emma Jane Bradfield, Georgie Gaynor Beckett, who we've got on screen right now, Joe Canning, Kelsey Johnson, Laura Fairhurst, Mel Brooks, and Vicky Lee. That's our TTT team, looking strong, and they look like they've got this figured out.
I mean, the total chart ladies with a 12:46 at the 6K mark. Just crossing over that 12K marker. We'll see what the next time that does come in. A little bit off of the time there of the Atom Racing Team Electrons as they make their way up and over the top of this Queen of the Mountain. They're being chased by the TFC team. It's going to be Lewis there, Tolhurst. Becky Roden is in there as well. More from the TFC Storm as they got 4 riders. About halfway up their climb. There'll be a right-hand turn in just a moment over the top of the Queen of the Mountain.
Beautiful Yorkshire, where we're out here racing today. These splits are coming in. It's 6 seconds is the difference between, we were just with the Danish cycling power team, and it is starting to look like it's going to be quite a race. Is Crush Pod 2 in just 8 seconds back. Crush Pod, well, that's going to update here. What's up? WTRL coming through 10 seconds off, but a lot can change out here, that's for sure. So they are in the mix. Cycling Power top time 11:28, 11:36 for Crush Pod 2. WTRL, Watts Up at 11:46. 11:54 is Zed Sonar Pluto. They're tied there with Crush Pod Iced Latte. 12:06 for Virtue Slow, no doubt. That's our Slovenian friends, Rave Against the Machine. I always love that team. That's the team of Molly Hahn, if I'm not incorrect, with the 12:13. I look to Molly for daily inspiration on the gram. ZR Scott Alba, Scottish superstars. And boy, that's really tight right there with the Rave squad. They're only 4 seconds back. They're sitting in 8. Total Tri ladies at 12:54 and a 12:58 is the 10th quickest time at that 6K split, which comes early, but not that early considering how much climbing you had to do, Nathan, to get to that 6K point. That's a legitimate time check.
Molly Hahn, definitely over on the gram, bringing you the morning.
She's
coffee
great,
dances.
isn't she?
Oh yeah, absolutely awesome. Loving it there from the Rave Against the Machine. This is gonna be Luella O'Reilly from the Zoot team out of the United Kingdom. She's got an estimated FPP of 199 watts. This is her first time, second time ever doing a team time trial. She qualified for the Platinum League. The last time she did one back on November 25th with a 3.3 watt per kilogram average and 200 watts throughout the event. And it is her first Zwift Power event, actually, that she has registered. So this is a very strong rider on Bradder's wheel. And you can see the newer setup, perhaps the Dogma there with some climber wheels. She's level 25. It looks like, she's on the Madone, it looks like. Sorry about that, I think. But level 25 and has unlocked some good stuff here. It looks 139 beats per minute. She gets into the super tuck. She is out the front, though, 6 seconds back to her teammates. Not sure this is working out for the Total Tri ladies too well here. It's kind of an independent effort at this point.
Yeah, not the name of the game, that's for sure. But the only way to get better is to get out here and race on Thursday. So I've talked about the steep learning curve, and there's no doubt that exists. And you'll see that you never really take the fight out of these tigers, that's for sure. But they get smarter and smarter and just learn how to regulate these efforts. So it's not the kind. This is not for the weak of heart, that's for sure. As Cycling Power are showing us a 21:25 there at the 12K check, and that is past the halfway point. So that's really starting to give us some good data on what's happening out here. The teams started. So this is where it's interesting. The teams, well, it's always interesting, but the teams start based in a reverse seed. So the fastest teams on last week's course will go last. But Nathan, last week's course and this week's course are really diametrically opposed. So you could very well see a team that maybe didn't have the best ride last week come through with the fastest times today. If you've got a team that's built on a lot of climber type riders who do well on the climbs, these short burst type climbs, well, this is your day. That's for sure. Cycling Power remains the fastest time with 21:21. 21:52 from Virtue Slow, though, is about a half minute back. And at this point, it looks like Cycling Power really pouring it on. The team that I think they're going to be the most concerned about should be putting a time up pretty soon, and that's Crush Pod 2. They were the closest at the last check.
Looking as they make their way around course, one of the newer riders actually that is on Crush Pod here. This is going to be Bristlinger. I want to give her a welcome. Lisa Bristlinger, she's hanging out at that tempo. I think she was waiting for her team, actually. She might have dropped them all. And now they go flying right on by, perhaps, as Crush Pod go and start their second lap. But it is her first team time trial and only her second event ever, actually, out on Zwift when it comes to racing. So a big welcome to Lisa.
Wow.
As she made her way around course for at least one lap and looks to be starting her second, perhaps. We'll see. Interesting enough, these riders are starting to kind of bunch up on each other a little bit. Are the time gaps big enough that they're going to lap each other, or perhaps maybe not lap each other, but see some of the other teams pretty quickly here as they are chasing them down as we get back to some of the faster teams with Crush Pod making their way up the climb for their second time.
Yeah, and counting 6 riders here, which is encouraging to say the least, to have 6 women make it through to this point. They'll be coming up on that check pretty quickly here, and we'll see how. So Crush Pod 2 out here and Iced Latte. Iced Latte's already gone through with the 21:58. They're only 2 seconds off of the time set by Zedson R. Pluto there. Again, the top team, 21:21. Is Cycling Power. Let's see how now. Don't count Crush Pod out. Let's see how close they can get there to Cycling Power, woman. We'll know in a moment.
In for it looks like Tamara Jordan. Welcome to her. There's a lot of newcomers actually this week. I'm seeing 2, 3, 10, 1 when it comes to the races here. And this Crush Pod Iced Latte team is actually a lot of newer riders. 22 races is the most that I'm seeing from this crew who showed up with 8 today, and that's going to be from our Obens. So good to see the awesome recruitment that is going on with the Iced Latte crew as they make their way around course here. And Robin, Sarah, Petra, Anya, Velton now on the downhill, 13K in and a half a lap to go.
Yeah, once you've got that first lap behind you, you can really just bear down on just trying to get your team across the line. Let's see. Oh, I thought I saw that update. And it's Iced Latte that we have. Still waiting for that Crush Pod 2 time. I'm very interested to see what they've put together here. Lifting the tempo now when you can. You get for every steep uphill, there's a chance to pick some speed up on the downhills, try to build up that momentum out there, Nathan. This is a good sign right now, seeing the team able to not have to regroup at this point as they start heading downhill. WTRL.
So many teams out here today in this group here, 12 teams. So starting to come through. Well, 10 it looks like made the start line, but pretty good parity between them. 21:21, 21:52, 21:56, 21:58 for the top times so far. Cycling Power women here really walking away with this one so far. As they went out 6th. Crush Pod there, the fastest last week, went out 11th, chasing down that Cycling Power women.
Yeah, and you can see now is well back to but it's dramatically different, isn't it? When you're on the climbs for the speed that you see with the avatars out here. This is going to be cycling power that we're with now. The Danish team looks like unless they've got someone right in front of them, it looks like they're down to 4 riders with about 6K to go. I think that is the case. That's no reason to panic. Just you
What's
just have
going
to.
on
Oh,
with Hansen?
they
Hansen's
do have
just
one
like,
rider
see
just
you
up the road.
later. Well, she's out here just boogieing out like I'm out of here. I don't need to wait for nobody. 15.7K in, 4 seconds up
Looks
the
like
road at this point.
a gravel race where she wants to get in so she can get a water bottle first out of the scrum. Is yeah, so I guess for you can see that she realizes that she needs to get back into the safety of the group here, and that's exactly what's going to happen as
About to
they'll
seriously kick up in
reintegrate
just a
back up to
second here,
5.
Dave. And this is one of the hardest sections, of course, by far, as you hit this Pont Bank Hill. Hansen up in the 6.5 watts per kilogram. And we'll see how the crew sticks together as they do hit a 17% gradient in just a moment here. Got to be the most difficult section of the course.
Yeah, it's where you feel like your trainer is trying to kill your legs, where your smart trainer is just locking up to create the resistance necessary to simulate a 17% grade, which is, steep enough that if the road were icy, the cars would just start sliding down it just because of gravity, right? I mean, look how steep this is. You
I
watch
see
the
Andy
speeds
Bev
too.
jumping into the broadcast. Great to see TFC Hurricane back on top of Mopa. I can't keep up anymore. Dropped at 8 kilometers. I'm not surprised there. 8 kilometer mark definitely going to be difficult, as that is going to be the Pot Bank climb, I think, on each lap. Zed Sun up ahead, as you can see. It's going to be Jelly Beans, Dre Huzin, Biagi, Aline from Z Scott there, Prez as well. Wow, this is mayhem. Look at this, Dave. Absolute
Brutal.
mayhem. Yeah, I mean, there's
Yeah.
bodies everywhere as TFC. Again, the separation, you can see how difficult this day is.
Yeah, really good point. The severity of the course really challenges our riders to keep their teams together here. You got to be on point, and certainly no criticism there. This would go down certainly as one of the learning weeks for a lot of teams, because if you can do this, you can do anything in the world of team time trialing.
Great point, actually.
This would not be a
When it
good
comes
starter course. Let's put it that way.
no, not at all. This is most definitely one of the most difficult courses that you could get into for a team time trial, and the ability to hang on to the pack, find the wheels that you need to, and draft well is going to be tested like no other
So
on this course.
I've always said, Nate, that when you look at racing, in America at least, we start with Cat 5. That's your for a person who's never done a race before, all the way up to professional or Cat 1, I guess we could call it basically. Well, the further you climb that ladder, the smaller the difference in ability is amongst riders. It gets harder and harder to win, and everyone is so close to you in ability, but not when you start. Well, a course like this is an absolute nightmare for a team that has riders of a greater a difference in ability level, which you would expect to see. That's it's normal. It's how it all works in the sport. So for some of these teams, there are some riders that really, this is not what they were expecting. And it's certainly jumping into the deep end of the pool. But one thing you really do learn too is these experiences, you grow in the sport very, very quickly. And not giving up, not throwing in the towel is really one of the first hurdles you need to cross as a cyclist. Excuse me, not as a cyclist, as a racer, is the ability to learn not to quit.
Cool little message coming in here from Andy Bev. We do see all the messages coming in from the YouTube chat at the moment. And Bev's saying they have a rolling guard looking after their slowest riders, so they never have to bridge alone if they get dropped in that TFC Hurricane crew. That's pretty cool to
It's a
see.
good way to do it.
They have to get
Yeah.
that slowest rider to the end at max speed. And Gordon Sloan, good to see you there as well. Longtime viewer and rider for TFC, I believe, as well. Saying great ride to Andy. You guys were strong today. Killing it out there. The Hurricane and their teammates here right now with Tolhurst, Moore, Roden, and Lewis on their final climb.
As we were saying, the teams don't always have the same objective out here. There are some teams that are looking to finish all of their riders together. Today is probably the toughest day possible to try to do that. More splits coming in. As Crush Pod 2, Nathan, it's still within reach.
That's close.
21:39.
Especially with these final climbs, Dave. I think
there's
you
a lot
really
of
get a lot of differentiation in the times with these final few climbs too.
it's a great point because on a course like Fuego Flats, right, it's making up 2 or 3 seconds in the last 3K. That's really, really hard to do. Everybody is flying. But here, if your team is having a strong finish, you can bring back heaps of time in the last few K. But again, that's requiring your team is having a strong finish. 36:27 from Total Tri Ladies there at 18K. This is TFC that we're in with right now, the Friday criteria.
Again, we want to highlight next week is our WTRL TTT number 138 for the World Bicycle Relief. So far, we do have a solid fundraising effort. It looks like right now we are at $6,444, 39 Buffalo bikes. Our goal is $75,000 before next week. Make sure to jump on over to WTRL.racing and start signing up and start your fundraiser right on over there as well. It's going to be a great week in benefit for the World Bicycle Relief as we jump back in with Team TFC. It looks like they'll be making their way to the line pretty quickly here at that 21K mark is when they will cross. And apologies that we weren't able to cover a couple of the other categories here in with the Vienna. We're just having some struggles getting across to the C, D, and B categories, but we will be able to get you the splits and the final results on the day.
Yeah, we'll make sure that the next time we're covering racing, we'll get Coalition on the Vienna Frappe up on our screens. I hear they're working hard out there today.
I saw that from Natika. Natika, big shout out to you. And it sounds like you were able to. It sounds like a little bit of a bug there with the avatar.
Little mishap.
Mishap there.
Yeah.
But thanks for jumping in with the broadcast and cheering on the team.
Yeah, she's a fun person, a great example of our community, that's for sure. This is TTT, Nathan. The nice thing, the only thing that you can say about this course that's nice is that it's got a downhill run to the finish. And these once you've gone past about 19.5K, you get a nice fast run into the line.
Yeah, this is one of the coolest run-ins, actually. One of the best timing sprints, too. I absolutely love this sprint section.
Oh,
it's about to come up.
You are hauling, right? And yeah, I completely agree. You really are building up some momentum, and you get that, a great way to put it, you get the wind in your sails at this point. Finally, if you've been tacking and fighting for every meter, now you're getting some free speed.
And back
as you can see, they're going 60K an hour almost right now here.
Off the back here, not going to make the catch, but the team's already done the work. Zedson over the top with Jelly Beans. They've got 4 riders left. Biagi, Lepanzi, and Dreinhusen. A very across the map team, it looks like, with the Netherlands, Canada, and the US of A being represented.
Yeah, 4 riders here. This kit, the red, white, and black of Zedson, one of the most recognizable. I put them in that category with Cryo, a team that's just been around the block, have a tremendous force of will on the team. And here's a good example of them bringing it on home. They've got 1.5K of racing remaining, and that'll be over in about 1.5 minutes, to tell you the truth, at the speed they're carrying right now.
Soxwad's Arrow Unicorns did take the start line today, Dave. Interesting enough. I didn't think so. So, as we start to get some of the results coming in, BBB taking it down in the Vienna Espressos with the 33.46.
Funny, the team I was saying was Sisu. Sisu was on a start list at one point.
That's right.
Right.
Oh.
But that's in zone 10 that Sox for Watts Aero Unicorns were racing. So it was 2 teams, it looks like, today. Unless I'm misreading something. BBB 33.46.
247 back there for draft, struggling out there today a little bit. Climb's not treating them well as we continue to get times coming on in. Ravon, 36-26.
Time is not treating me well either.
Coalition Equinox there. That is the team I think you're talking about. Is that right there, Dave? With Coalition and Natika.
Yeah.
With, only a minute back for Vienna Frappe, B2B, and Zebro Pavlovas. These are crazy splits. What is going on with these times? I mean, these are some pretty big time gaps out here today.
Well, Rave On is clearly a team on an upward trajectory right now. This is your finish line as we look at the Dreinhausen bringing them home here. The Dutch rider on Zedson. So that one is done and dusted. We'll start getting some finishing times in out here as we had a chance to race in Yorkshire for another team coming in hot right now. So this should be our fastest time, or at least on the books as we have it right now, our fastest time for Cycling Power out of Denmark. And they have put paid with an exclamation point. I think really it's down to Crush Pod 2, Nathan, with the only team with a chance really to better that time.
Yeah, that actually I think was the best time because that rider came in at 39 minutes flat almost, and NZ Bro Ghost Cups were a 39.50 out of zone 1. So
Gotcha.
Currently, that will be our fastest time, I believe. 10 seconds back with TSC Sticky Buns. These names. You gotta love this community. Making me say Sticky Buns. I appreciate it, guys. Very much.
Yes.
Znidarsek. Nesimer from Vertislow. All the Savanian riders here hammering away. Love to see it.
Yeah, they're kind of following the New Zealanders into becoming an institution out here. First, you really realize once you start recognizing that flag instantly, that's a good sign that they've got great representation on Zwift in our community here. They got about 600 meters to go right now. It'll go by quickly. All the climbing is behind them. Another half minute of an effort like this.
Separation here on this course is just so huge. And the number of stragglers coming in, it just goes to show what a decimation of these teams this course does.
Yeah, this is on the high end of ability level for a team time trial team to manage. That's for sure. Crush Pod. This is iced lattes, isn't it, that we're looking at?
I believe so. I believe this is going to be iced lattes as they make their way around.
I'm wondering, Nathan, I don't know, you work with the New Zealander quite a bit, Anna Russell. Do you know what a ghost choops is, or chups? You familiar? I'm not. I'll be upfront with you.
Ghost chups and
usually when you...
I mean, come on, guys. What's going on?
It sounds like a lollipop to me. A candy. But the ghost part doesn't, though. So I have to figure that out. That is an Anna question.
Ghost chups are ghost whey chips ahoy. They're Chips Ahoy.
Like chocolate chip cookies, kind of?
Yeah, I think they're chocolate chip cookies. Yeah.
Huh.
With
all right.
protein. It's like a protein chocolate chip cookie.
Probably should have someone send us some. I think that's our best policy here.
That's really what needs to happen. We need some ghost chops. We need to do a taste test on these to give them approval to even have the name in the broadcast.
We'd like to do our research and know what we're talking about. I think that applies to any team that has a food-based name. Go ahead.
All right, let's take a look at the results here as they come on in for the ladies. BBB take it down with a 33.46 here, Dave. Docs for Watts, Unicorns, 34.22. These time gaps are insane. 2:47 goes to show how hardcore this course was today.
I tell you what, a lot of the all men's teams would look at that 33.46 and say, "Wow, that is an impressive ride, ladies." Vienna Frappe Ravon with the 36.26. It's Platinum League for the top 6 spots here as it stands. We'll see if anyone can upset that apple cart. Crush Pod coming through with the with the only 9 seconds back. Very, very close today between Rayvon and Crushbot. Evo Comets, third quickest time. Coalition Equinox, that was the team we were talking about earlier, and they were fourth today as it stands. Just not even a minute back. Cinnamon Rolls from TSC, fifth quickest. Thanks again, Martin. B2B, sixth, and Zebro. Now, we would definitely be interested in trying a Pavlova. Oh, that's going to update a little bit here. Socks for What's Odd Socks coming in with the 5450 to move them into fourth quickest. Now, this is the beauty of WTRL. Things update in real time out there. So Socks for Watts just came across the line with a 5450 to put him in at fourth. Fifth is Coalition. Sixth is TSZ. Seventh now for B2B. NZ Bro Pavlova's in eighth. Fearsome ninth. And WMZ Sapphires, our 10th quickest time out there. Although, you know what? I'm looking at that. Are they really 10 minutes back?
On this course, I mean, it's the tour of this well.
I mean, it's possible, isn't it?
The buckets go deep, Dave. They go way deep into this well.
The pain bucket. Yeah.
The pain buckets here. 39-32. The Ghost Chips Ahoy, 18 seconds back from zone one. It's going to be Crush Pod Ice Latte with the 39-51. It's going to be WTRL What's UPC there in 39.55. Fourth place, TSC Sticky Buns, 40.01, 29 seconds back. Zed's on Pluto with a 40.08. Then it's going to be Virtue Slow, no doubt, coming in seventh place, 40.19. Pretty close across the board here compared to some of the other categories. Rave Against the Machine there, Platinum League, 40.28. Zed Sun Burson and Z Scott Elba. That's the situation for the Vienna Lattes. I have a feeling we're still going to have some of the Vienna's out on course, but we'll read out a few of them, and then we'll head on over to see what's up for next week.
Yeah, absolutely. You can always go to WTRL's website to get the final story. But as it stands right now, 41.13, the time from WCC Infernos. That's your gold standard. TFC Blackbirds in with the second quickest time. Third fastest as it stands is Evo Meteors AVC Mount Eagle. Fourth quickest RC Feel Revolunas in fifth, Angular Speed sixth, Live by Cycling seventh, and Zed Bro Pie Sandwiches in eighth, Zed Sun R Hydra ninth, and Total Tri Training Ladies 3. Our 10th quickest time, top 3 Platinum League, but zones 7, 8, and 9 also represented in our top 6 today. Good job, ladies.
And in with next week, obviously, it's going to be our... I think we're not on tour to it well, actually. Again, we're going to be in San Sequoias. We'll need an update on that. I'll get that updated. Maybe it's on me. I'll just do a quick little refresh here. And... Suki's Playground is what I'm hearing? Oh, okay. Suki's Playground is what we're going to be on. That's a new course. 1 p.m. Central Time next week as the registration closes. Make sure to do some fundraising for WBR as we are shooting for that goal. $75,000. There's a $10,000 match coming from Saris. Lots and lots going on. Dave,
come on, people.
A great day. We got to make it happen. Make it happen.
Let's elevate our game, or as Dua Lipa said, levitate. Let's levitate up and raise some money here for our friends at WBR. They're doing good work. As a matter of fact, you want to improve your own personal karma? We got an easy solution for you.
Buy a Buffalo bike. Everybody, a Buffalo bike per team, no problem. Let's go. Let's make it happen. Debbie and Shape is you on Twitch. We appreciate you very much. Everybody that's hanging out here in the chat as well. Dave's getting some encouragement too. Dave, I hear you're going to be jumping into the TTT for a Buffalo bike. Is that happening, Dave?
With Debbie and Shape's team, I'd consider it for sure.
All right. Well, we're going to be looking forward to this weekend, Dave. I believe you're on with me on the 4th. I don't know if I put that in the calendar. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
We have to double check here. We got the playoffs coming, though. That's going to be killer. We've got a KOM after party.
Yeah, so excited for that as all of our teams that have worked so hard to get to this point in our Zwift Racing League community comes down to this one to see who's going to get the promotion up into that dream racing in the Premier. Also, Nathan, with Rasan Bahati, we've got our Legion of LA Crit series
Crit
coming
Series
up.
starts
That's going to
next
start on the
week on
7th.
the 7th. Yeah. And we will be on
Yeah,
that as well, which I'm super excited about as
s-
well.
yeah,
Lots and
it's
lots
going to be
going
great.
on. I'm, this weekend, what's really cool also is this weekend, next weekend, and then the 7th, there is a lot more racing actually happening than I was expecting over the month of December. So I'm really excited about that to see how this is all going to play out. And it's more exhibition type racing and a lot of scratch racing, which is a lot of
Yeah.
fun to watch. A lot of cool, going to be really cool to see. Again, crit racing with Legion next week. Chase race on Wednesday, and the playoffs on the not Premier Division, but the Zwift Racing League finals happening this weekend on the 4th. So make sure to tune in for all of that. Dave, thanks a lot for the commentary today. And as always, everybody, head on over to WTRL.racing to see all of your results. And as always, ride on.